the treatment and perception of women in Indian society has been of concern for years. It's just ridiculous past a point.
Most of the women go through this, I feel. There were so many problems when we were shooting.
I think if you're on a set that is serious or dark or depressing, then you're on the wrong set.
Blaming is very easy, I feel. Education is the key.
I don't know, it's like the Wild West suddenly. It just boggles my mind and nobody does anything. It's like everything's permitted.
First, I would like to congratulate you both because you have delivered an amazing film. And after a long time, I called up all my family members and like, you have to watch it, you have to watch it.
Thank
So I'm starting with a little serious question because I feel that Maa Behen is telling a lot about patriarchy, hidden patriarchy in the society. It talks about a lot of important topics like consent, but it ties them up and wraps them up in a very nice comedy layer and present it to us. And so I want to ask you, when it comes to dealing with serious issues wrapped in this comedy genre, so how important this is to basically reach to the masses, or do you think that we need to deal with serious subjects seriously?
No, not at all. I feel that comedy is the best way, and I really love acting in comedies and thrillers because they entertain a lot. And I think people have got bored with preaching. So whenever something meaningful has to be told, it has to be told in a very lighter way and in a very entertaining way, which Ma Behen does. And when I read the script first, when Suresh shared the script, I was really thrilled about it because the one-liners are so hilarious. Pooja has written so well, and especially Guptain's character, my one-liners, I just loved them, and I said that. This is what I like. Even whenever I'm like searching or whenever I'm looking for stuff, I feel that if it's a comedy, then it people really are so tired with their life. They are going through such difficult times in the world. At that time, you need to have some empathy about them as entertainers, and uh, give them some entertainment so that they have some energy for their life. That's what I feel.
Hi, Arunday, welcome. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So I just asked them a question about Ma Behen wrapping up important issues like patriarchy and consent in the comedy genre and presenting it to the audience. And likely it is going viral everywhere. So how do you feel about this, that presenting serious issues through through comedy genre?
Well, I suppose, the job of cinema should always be to make society look at itself a little better, show things a little clearer in whatever genre it does that. And it's especially tricky to do in a comedy. So I think Pooja Tolani and Suresh Triveni, the writer and director of the film, deserve a lot of credit because it's not hard to do, but it's hard to do well. To talk about actually very serious and very the treatment and perception of women in Indian society has been of concern for years. So the fact that we're able to make a film that can not only entertain but you know make people actually seriously think about this is a wonderful thing, and I'm very proud to be a part of the film.
Okay, Shardul?
Yeah, I would sort of agree with Arunoday. I don't know whether it's what do we term as serious and what do we term as comedy is also quite subjective, right?
Mm.
And the genres are labeled by you people. We don't we If I were doing comedy thinking it's comedy, then maybe it won't translate because I, as the performer, would be playing the comedy rather than the situation, right?
Mm.
I think the film is important. The genre happens to be there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Arunday, and my next question is to you. You play Maheshwari, and I feel that a Maheshwari is very important right now in the age of Dabang and Singham and all that male testosterone on the screen, and they are fighting, and he is a soft-hearted cop, because personally I feel very scared of them to go near them. But when you see and in fact, Tripti's character is also a little taken aback, though she knows him like from childhood. So, what do you think? What do you think about playing this soft cop character in the film?
I loved it. That's part of the reason why I agreed to say yes after I got selected through the auditions, is when I got the chance to actually read the script.
Yeah,
I loved how he was. I loved that it was
yeah,
softness is not opposed to masculinity. You know what I mean? They're not mutually exclusive. And I
okay.
do think, like you said, that we've gotten too much of this hyper masculine. You know, it's just ridiculous past a point.
Yeah.
It's fun in a bit. It's fun for a bit, but I think you need to portray various levels of masculinity and how men are, and you know what the word. So to play a real sweetheart was
Mhm.
very sweet.
Yeah.
I had a great time. I really did.
Okay. Gitanjali, I have a question for you. आप बिट्टू की मम्मी से इतना टेरराइज्ड हैं गुल्लक में, and now I think you are playing a version of that in माँ बहन. So, and also, so how was it, first of all, that? And second of all, I want to talk about a scene in the film by the end of it, when you got to know about what Ravi Kishan's character is doing. And though you don't like these people, though you don't like Madhuri's character, but you have a kind of a shame, but at the same time empathy in your eyes for her, that what she has been going through without approaching you and asking you for help regarding the same. I observed that from this. So, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it was actually I always adored Sunita and Sunita's character because she plays it so well. And that's that. There is a streak of there is a similarity between Bittu ki mummy and Guptayan.
Yeah.
Here, but I think the best part in the last scene was that it's, I think, a representation of maximum women from middle class in India, and I think all over the world, that they succumb to whatever their family goes through or their husband do. They succumb to that situation. So I feel that I personally felt that empathetic towards the character, because most of the women go through this, I feel. And though she has understood what these Ma Behen are going through, but she doesn't have that kind of power, to go out of her way and help these women. And at maximum what they can do is, they can, वो अपनी family को संवार सकते हैं.
That is true.
So that's the reality,
That is true.
that's not an ideal condition. I'll never say that it's an ideal condition, and we should do something which is beyond us. But at the same time, that's the reality that we should understand.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Mm.
Shasta, I want to talk to you about that scene with Tripti that is like going crazy on Twitter. Like Tripti is like beating you up and you are going that. So I want to understand what went behind shooting that scene. How was the atmosphere on the set? And like take me to how did you shoot that scene?
We'd workshopped a lot for that scene, and that scene was quite instrumental in also trying to find who Manas is.
Yeah.
Because if you remember the scene, I think via trying to figure out what his response is going to be, we
Yeah.
were discovering what Manas is also. And there was already a great structure written by Pooja, and we would workshop under the supervision of Suresh sir and Pooja.
Hmm.
Um, if you notice, there are three parts to that scene, which is one is inside the house, one is right when they get out until the gate, and one is outside.
Yeah.
So I think what was quite important was the sense of the outside. What happens when he goes outside? So he's one part. So the plotting of that was quite important, and also the way Tripti has done it. Generally, sometimes when you have that kind of a monologue, you can just keep speaking without reacting to the other person.
Yeah.
So the idea was to be able to take from each other,
Hmm.
which she does so beautifully,
Hmm.
and then be
Hmm.
able to see what we are being able to give to each other. I don't think we did too many takes for it.
Hmm.
Um, uh, but of course, there was a scene we all were looking forward to it,
Yeah.
and I think it's just two people being able to hear each other and be able to react to each other. I mean, she was being able to. You
Hmm.
people would be a better judge about what I was being able to. But
Hmm.
she was reacting and acting in a great way. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask all three of you. You have done like serious cinema, and Gitanjali, you were in Cough, which is like as serious as it can get, plus mixed with horror. So I want to ask you, when you are on a serious, like when you do a very serious film, when you are on that set, and when you are on a set like Maa Behen, where they talk about serious issues, but it's a fun film. So how is the atmosphere on different in these two situations?
I think while shooting off, we were not serious.
Okay. It was scary. Like I have not seen something more scarier than that show. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it was the shooting part was very interesting, especially cough as far as cough is concerned, because the scape was great and the makers were great. Likewise, at on Maa Behen set, of course, it was a lot of fun because Suresh sir is such a witty person and he's a great team leader, I feel, and he's constantly giving you ideas. Pooja was such a great support, and she was constantly, whenever even I had to give cues. At that time also she used to tell me that na, ma'am ये ना थोड़ा ऐसा बोल दीजिए. मैंने कहा पूजा, I may not be seen in this shot. No, लेकिन करते हैं ना. And that's how she pushed me, and I'm so thankful to her. She was constantly being there, constantly listening to what I was saying, how I was delivering my lines, and that's why Suresh sir gave so many ideas. The scene where I start crying on the phone, "Bhai, agar aapne ho." So that idea was Suresh sir's, and it was I enjoyed being on set, and since I got this character when we were doing the look test, the limping and the specs thing, and I just created that character, and I went and met Suresh sir in that and talked in that tone. And he was so supportive. He said, "This is fantastic. We'll go with this." So I I really loved the atmosphere on the set because everybody was in it and everybody was doing so much of efforts. There were so many problems when we were shooting. The constant rain. It started early. The rain, in the sense, rainy season started early last year, so there was quite a bit of problem. But the spirit was great on the sets.
Okay. Arunday, what do you think about this? How was the set?
I think if you're on a set that is serious or dark or depressing, then you're on the wrong set. I think I've no set that I've been on, because you're supposed to be professionally serious and we're
Yeah.
supposed to be focused on our job, but it's a great job. So we're all having fun. I mean,
Okay.
I've never been on a set that had a dark or oppressive atmosphere and not thought something is very wrong here.
Okay.
Like a set, a crew is meant to be a fun, happy thing. Whatever genre of work that you're doing, that's only supposed to be visible while you're acting. The rest of us are not, if it's a depressing story, we're not depressed. We're just
Okay.
doing our job. So a
Yeah.
set is supposed to be a happy place. I've always been lucky. There are
Yeah.
always happy places.
Correct. Okay, so segueing to something serious, the end part of the film really hits you when Madhuri is talking about her experience. Madhuri's character is talking about her experience. Right now, we have a debate going on in the country regarding the Pranit Mode show and the consent debate, the 370 biryani controversy that is going on. So, you have just done a film that speaks so loudly, so clearly about consent. What do you think about the controversy that is going on and how we should tackle it as a society instead of like blaming them, or like maybe I think the course correction, what there should be, is my question to you.
I think, uh, our society, we need to have gender sensitivity, and that education has to be there, not just in schools but also in families and in communities. Unless and until we start it early, it is the family is the unit. I think
Yeah.
that's where it has to start, and we
Yeah.
just cannot blame each other always. We have to. Blaming is very easy, I feel. Education is the key.
Okay. Okay. Shardul and Arundhya, what do you think about this?
I'm not that familiar with the debate, quite honestly. But it's it's symptomatic of a larger problem in the society.
Yeah.
I think the problem is when something like this happens, we talk a lot about it, but he was also saying the fundamentals have to be laid down in primary schooling. You know,
Mm.
we don't. I don't think we come close to actually looking at it in a more fundamental way, and where it actually starts or is built in, which is in small units.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Arundhya, do you want to say anything on this?
I just think that we have to take a very, very, very deep and hard look at ourselves as a society and a country now. Because
Mhm.
although I agree that schooling and all the rest of it, but there also has to be somebody watching out for you.
Mm.
Like governments and societies and elders are supposed to not permit a certain kind of behavior. They're supposed to censure a certain kind of behavior. There's supposed to be guardrails. There's supposed to be laws, and there's supposed to be consequences. And I
Mm.
just find that, I don't know, it's like the Wild West suddenly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I pray for the future. I really do.
Hope.
It's not a very yeah.
Yeah. I think also that this is coming forth now because of the social media. I think this mindset was always there. But having lived in Gurgaon and Delhi, I have experienced that. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
it's absurd.
Bombay is
I'm
no
sorry.
different. Bombay
No,
is no
like
different.
how are we here now? Like how is this us? I
yeah,
It just boggles my mind, and nobody does anything. It's like everything's permitted.
yeah.
It's just sorry. I get yeah, it's a thing.
No, but I agree with you. It's like a collective angst that we have. And talking about angst, I feel Ma Behen is like a female angst, like a sort of a flea, not like a desi version of Fleabag, if I may say. So I want to talk to you about female writers. You have been in the industry for long, all of you. And when it talks about changing this arc, like if I talk about a Ma character, we have come a long way, I think, with films like this being made and appreciated by society. So, how have you seen role of female writers change in the industry over the years, or is it the same?
I think there have been very few female writers.
Okay.
I'm a great fan of Sai Paranspe. So as a child, I watched her plays, I watched her serials on TV, and then of course films like Chashme Buddur and Katha, and I felt that, and as a Maharashtrian, I never felt that there is dearth of women writers. But somehow, when I grew up and I started watching films, I thought that there are very few women writers.
Mm,
And I think in last 10, 12 years, it's changing a lot.
mm,
And that's a very good thing, because you need that voice. Unless and until you have that voice, how are you going to tell stories
yeah.
about them, about us? So I felt really nice. I've worked with Rohena also, Rohena Gera, and I really loved working with her. And so I've worked with Pooja on her she as a director, she has written and directed a short film called Raza, where I was playing the lead character. And now I'm, in Maa Behen, where she has written the dialogue. So I think the whole game changes, with that voice, I feel. Of course, though not necessarily all women writers will have that kind of sensibility. Many writers who are men also have this, very sensitive kind of style and sensitive kind of understanding about society, about women, about people. So I won't say that it's complete, but we have to have that agency of telling our stories, and that is very important. And I think more and more women have started writing, which is very, very, I think, I'm very happy about it.
Okay, okay, okay. And have you seen it change over the years?
All I'll say is I long for the day when we don't have to answer questions about, what's been happening with just women writers,
Okay,
because they will have been let in and they will have been allowed agency, and we will only be talking about good writers and bad. Because I do think it has been a male dominated sort of thing. And I'm
it's
very
not, or is it?
It has been, maybe it's changing. I hope it does,
Okay.
because good writing is good writing. I don't think that there should be this gatekeeping against women writers, which I've
No, I was
always been
talking
honored
about
to work.
female writers putting forward female perspective, actually.
And it's necessary. All perspectives are necessary. They should not have any hindrance or any opposition to be able to do that. I think I look forward to the day where female writers don't have to think of themselves as female writers and don't have to deal with the usual, extra bullshit. Just
Yeah.
write a great thing, make a great thing, and that's it.
Okay. 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 Thank you guys. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank
Have a good
you.
day.